welcome to the EHS radio show on the Siemens David Walker. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you very kindly. Folks, the Siemens EHS world is so fortunate because we are exceptionally blessed with a diverse and talented pool of colleagues. Today, we are truly honored to have time with a person who did not begin their personal journey in the EHS arena, but quickly discovered that their skill set fits so well into this journey. I hope you join with me in welcoming to our show a very special guest and a great colleague, Johannes Buchmann. Welcome, Johannes.
Hi, David. Thank you very much for having me on the show. It's a real pleasure to be here today and to talk to you. I've really looked forward to our meeting.
I have too, and we've had this planned for several weeks. And I'm, we've been fortunate to be able to do some face-to-face stuff, and then so it just makes it that much more personal. And I'm very, very flattered and honored that you have agreed to be on this program. So let's get right into it. Johannes, your educational resume is not strictly environmental protection, health management, and safety. For our audience today, will you take a few minutes and tell us about your background and what really led you in the direction of EHS?
Yeah, you're right. I started my career within Siemens now almost 10 years ago, but in a completely different department. I started off in the communications department, and my background is really not a traditional EHS education. I have a bachelor's degree in applied media science and a master's degree in communication management. Once I started my journey within Siemens, my focus was on strategical communication for all kinds of products, services, and business development. I started working in internal comms, then moved to marketing communications, as well to fairs and events. And until I headed the communication activity for business unit that was later sold, unfortunately. But at that time, I was looking for an opportunity and a new challenge for me. We actually relocated from Nuremberg to Munich, my girlfriend and I, and there was this open position within the corporate EHS department, specifically as a parental leave replacement within the occupational health and safety department there. The job was to communicate around occupational safety internally and externally. I joined the team. I liked it. And I did this for a year before my boss at that time asked me if I would like to have a new challenge. And he asked me to basically take over our global safety program, Zero Harm Culture at Siemens, because the program manager actually left the company. And he said that I would bring something valuable to the table to push the program to the next level. I have to say, at first I was a little skeptical because, I did some trainings on auditing and incident investigations, but I was actually lacking, you can call it the street credibility in the area of classical safety engineering. But my boss at the time, Uli Schulte, he actually supported me in the decision to follow the path. And I did trainings alongside my work in the evenings.
Johannes, before we go any further in this, and this is very intriguing to me, but I will say in my entire career at Siemens, the Zero Harm Culture program, the ZHC attitude was no doubt the most influential and strongest EHS campaign drive commitment that was ever put forth in my 25 plus year career at Siemens. And it's still evident today, even though we've evolved into healthy and safe at Siemens.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I see it the same because it was really great to doing this for 4 years. And at that time, it was exactly the right thing to do for the program and also for what needed to be done for the health and safety department at that time. So the program fitted perfectly the need. And also I had the feeling that it fitted me personally very well because the communication was actually the key driver to push the program so that we could have this impact on the organization. And, by the program, we reduced key indicators like the LTIFR and fatalities and so on. But what was far more important was the dialogue that we started between different hierarchies, between different functions within the company that really made a difference. And also we could actually achieve a maturity that we then could use for the next step.
Yeah,
focusing
excellent.
now on different things, right?
So on that journey, let's go into this. On that journey throughout your career, or maybe even before your career, was there a moment? Was there a series of moments, or was there something that really drove you to want to help and protect people? We call it was did you have an aha moment that opened your eyes about how critical this career path was?
That is really difficult to answer. So I cannot pin it to one moment or one thing that I experienced myself. But having experienced a work accident, I can talk for myself that this isn't a pleasant feeling that you get. But I had multiple experiences where I thought I'm here at the right place with the right abilities to actually do something valuable. And first was basically realizing that communication is a key to have impact on health and safety, because you're going to connect leaders with employees and you find the right tone to talk to them. And actually, it's in our organization sometimes hard for, let's say, trained EHS professionals to find the right ways to communicate and the right tools. And I mean, they're not the ones to blame, because they are the ones that got trained on that this way. But
Yes.
certainly sometimes it's nice to be an outsider, to see things differently and to just ask very simple or sometimes stupid questions, and you don't have to be ashamed of it.
Yeah, and we've said this in a lot of our different programs throughout the last couple of years, and I am so happy that you're on the show. I've said forever, to be an EHS professional and be successful, you have to be a coach, you have to be a student, you have to be a teacher, you have to be a mentor, you have to be a consultant, and you have to be a communications person. You have to know how to communicate. And you are a living, breathing example of the success that brings.
Thank you very much. Absolutely. I would totally sign what you just said, because it's not about knowing everything and tell people what to do and how to do it. It's about understanding their work as done on a daily basis, and to have a honest interest in what people do. I mean, it sounds really obvious, but it is essential if you want to learn something and if you want to build trust with people. You just have to listen to them and just show interest and see how you can make their life easier.
Absolutely, and that is perfectly said. So let's talk about what's going on now. You lead a couple of other projects now, and as we transition, transform, move into whatever we want to call it, as we open our eyes to the digital transformation, you have been in a position where you've led some of these endeavors through your role. Can you tell us a little bit about what we do and the programs you're leading in the digital transformation inside EHS for Siemens?
Yes, absolutely. So apart from the activities that I had the pleasure to accompany for the last years, I'm very interested in technology. And of course, that's why I'm also working for Siemens, but technology in a way to digitize things and to make things smarter and easier for our community. So I'm currently leading a project that is considered ergonomic risk assessment based on artificial intelligence, so motion capturing. And we actually work with this company called Tumiki. We tested the solution a year back and piloted this at several factories globally. And we're pretty pleased with the results. So we are now operational with the app and use it. And the benefit with this is basically that our EHS experts, they can save valuable time in doing paper-based risk assessments, so they can use the time and the expertise to talk to employees, to have meaningful conversations and help them to design workplaces safer and to make sure that they can work there without getting the risk of musculoskeletal disorders.
And so we have that gap, right? We have those people that have, within Siemens, people stay a long time. There's a lot of people been there a long time. And we also have the new people. So you have those entry and you have those people that have been doing this way for years. So this is a really critical step to protect and to encourage and to teach people based upon their own actions, right? I've seen that program. It's amazing to watch.
Yeah, it's really great. And they are improving it. So it's actually a fruitful connection that we have with them. So that is one project. I'm really proud to be involved in this. Another project is that we just recently started is the designing of virtual reality trainings for our business. And this is something where we actually wanting to enhance the learning experience where health and safety is just a part of everyday work, not something on top, not something additional, but something that is really as natural as breathing. And with this experience, basically people are put in real life scenarios so they can explore and they can do failures and they can actually see what the outcome is without getting hurt. So this is something that is really, for a learning perspective, I think for the community, something very valuable.
I couldn't agree more. And what a cutting edge, what a fun way to spend your day. And everybody kind of looks at things on the intranets and through these advertisements about how virtual reality and how live streaming and how the ergonomic things are available. But to actually incorporate them into a work environment and a lifestyle in a usable, non-encumbering way is a challenge. And I think you're the right person for that. And I know just because of the way you are passionate about your work and the skill set you have about communicating how to make it work is going to make it a huge success inside Siemens.
Well, I hope so. Hopefully our colleagues will like the training because the idea is to expand that further. But this is something that personally I found really exciting to be involved in it because you can actually shape how people receive the training. And we are working with our frontline workers to create these trainings because, I mean, they're the experts. They're doing the job on a daily basis. They know how to do it. So we're not focusing on the rules here. We are actually focusing on the work is done, frontline, and having people to just get the message across what is really important.
I think that's perfectly said. I could not agree anymore with the way we're doing it and the way you're leading the program. In your global role, you are exposed to a vast landscape of people and ideas. What do you personally feel separates Siemens from the other big conglomerates as a highly regarded employer of choice? Why do you feel that we are, and what makes us such a great place to work?
For me, working within Siemens means that you can explore so many options for personal growth and for your development, basically. I started with one profession when I joined Siemens and would never ever have thought that I would choose a career path within EHS. So now I can say that I'm really lucky to have two professions at heart that match perfectly. And being with the company for almost 10 years, having changed positions, the job profiles, departments and businesses, I don't know where this actually would be possible apart from a company like Siemens. And to meet and to work with so many different peoples across the globe is just amazing. So for me, what makes Siemens my employer of choice and also EHS, the profession that I'm passionate about, is that we are serving a purpose. Yes, I know that sounds cheesy, but I really see it and feel it that way because that with Siemens and also with the work that I'm doing, with my abilities that I bring in, I can have an impact on the health, safety and the well-being of our employees, and that is really absolutely rewarding.
Well said. And it's not cheesy. And I know people sometimes get maybe a little tired of me saying it, but I agree with you. We work at a great place, and every day offers new challenges, and we get a chance to play a part in making people's lives better in their work environment, which hopefully bleeds over into their home environment.
Yes,
You have been an outstanding guest, just like I knew you would, and I have enjoyed our time. It's just flown by. Let me just formally say thank you for taking the time to share your vision and to talk about what brought you here and what drives you and things that you're working on. I much appreciate you willing to be on the podcast. Thank you, Johannes.
Thanks for having me, David. It was really a pleasure to talk to you.
Look forward to it again, and maybe we'll reschedule and get an update on some of these things going forward. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Folks, you have been listening to the EHS radio show on Siemens FM. Please take the time to invite your friends to subscribe to the show as you already have. And do not hesitate to provide feedback if you have any questions or comments to me at david.w.walker@siemens.com. Be kind to everyone, and for heaven's sakes, be safe.